talks about the impact of insecurity, especially kidnapping and banditry, is telling on Nigerians. Now, rail transport, which has become the preferred means of traveling from Abuja to Kaduna, is facing a fresh challenge. Several travelers trying to board the Kaduna-Abuja train at the Rigasa station in Kaduna are complaining of ticket racketeering by railway officials. And as a result of this, desperate passengers have been forced to buy tickets from middlemen at exorbitant prices. And the situation is compounded by the crashing of the e-ticketing website of the Nigeria Railway Corporation since Friday, and some staff are using the opportunity to connive with middlemen to inflate price of tickets. Now, Babajide, when does the Abuja-Kaduna rail started, everyone was, happy and elated that this is something good, coming out of our country. Now we are having to hear this situation where middlemen are cashing in on a failed e-ticketing website, more or less, making it difficult for people to use this railway system, what people had been happy about in the first instance. Now, what do you make of this, and how do you think instances such as what we are hearing now can be regulated so that people do not have to pay it through their noses, if I would use that language?
Well, this thing has been on for some time, and it didn't start today. Maybe it just occurred to the media to focus on it at this time, because these fat cats making money out of an unfortunate situation. Because if many people found the Abuja Kaduna highway safe, they won't get into a train. They won't get into a train. But everyone knows how dangerous it is to drive along that road. And in the last 2 weeks, there had been many cases of attack on that road by bandits, kidnapping of people, and even the killing of a gubernatorial aspirant from Zamfara, who was also traveling on that road. They shot him and left his jeep in the bush. So people who want to profit from the misfortune that you and I are going through, they always pick the right moment.
All right, let me hold your thought on that. I'm sorry now, we need to go on this very quick break. You're still on to Journalist Hangout. We'll have more discussions on this. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still on to Journalist Hangout, and we'll be discussing the level of insecurity on the highways with regards to the rail transport, which has been the ticketing system, which has been hijacked by some middlemen. And Babajide, you're about giving us much more on your position on this before we went on break.
Those greedy people out to profit from the misfortune that you and I are going through, they always pick an opportune moment. Now, in the last few weeks, there had been attacks on that road. They sense that at this time, people would rather die than get on that road. So they would rather get on the train. So there will be increased demand for train tickets, because more and more people, having seen those videos that went viral of attacks on that road, would at this time not want to
go through that.
Yes, for some time we didn't hear stories about that road. But over a number of days, like 4 days, those guys are consistently coming to attack people on that road. So they sense that at this time, people will not want to use that road at all. Everyone will want to get
the railway.
Or most people will like to use the train. So this is the time when they have contrived to make the online platform basically useless, because it is via the online platform that you can get the ticket at the real price. So what these middlemen have done, and I wonder why the Minister of transportation, Rotimi Amechi, cannot find a solution to this nonsense. What they have done is to simply buy off the tickets from conniving staff and then sell at exorbitant prices to people, at exorbitant rates to desperate travelers. Ticket that is meant to be sold at 5,000, you see people desperate to buy it at 10,000. This is a journey of 2 hours, for God's sake. When that road was good in the 90s, our vehicles would not do more than 1 hour, 30 minutes to get to Abuja. You know? But at this time, we have a situation in which people don't want to use the road. Because people don't want to use the road, they are now forced to get into the trains. So tickets meant for 3,000, they will sell for 5,000. Now they are even saying that the online portal has online platform has crashed. So it then means that
you have no choice.
You have no choice but to patronize these middlemen.
But can't this be regulated? You know, you talked about Rotimi Amechi, that's the Minister of Transport, doing something about
this. He's got to find a solution, a creative solution to it.
What solutions would offer that he could do at this time, knowing that this is the ember season where people get to travel more?
Yes, look at the banks, for example. We use their online portal. We don't go through a third party.
Right.
We just have to do our best to ensure that there is no human interference in this, because the more human interference in this matter, the more the corruption festers. Why are you transact your business online, your mobile banking with your bank, nobody gets involved, nobody gets in the way. Why is it that it is ticket that you can buy online that middlemen are now making it difficult for the online platform to work so that they can make money? We complain about our leaders are selfish, but the rest of us too, we need to look at ourselves in the mirror. Why does the average Nigerian prefer to cheat his fellow Nigerian, yet is eager to open his mouth and say government has failed, people in government are bad? What are you doing to make Nigeria a better country? You are contributing to the rot in the system when we allow this kind of things to happen. Right. It's so unfortunate.
So, Danny, what other solutions would you proffer to this situation, knowing that many would like to travel, especially during this Yuletide?
First, disclosure, I'm a railway person. My dad was a railway man, and for most of my life, I ride the rails free of charge. So I'm totally in love with the railway. So that's why I'm disappointed that this is happening. But one of the things I thought they would have done by now, not only for Kaduna, Abuja, but even Lagos, Ibadan, was to increase the frequency. Because you can only hold tickets, because you know that will be the last train for the morning. And the next one will be 4 or 5 hours away. But if there is a ride every hour, the middleman will lose out. Because you know definitely they cannot buy out all the tickets for about 6 or 7 trips. They will run out of money. And then you can have some people say, I'll wait for the 10 o'clock train, I'll wait for the 11 o'clock train. Which I thought that by now would be the ideal thing to do within the 2 corridors that they created. Because all over the world, you have rail systems that work on an hourly shift. Even in some parts of the world, it's every 30 minutes. And if you miss a particular train or subway, you just have to arrive for 15 minutes and the next one will come. Because we are coming to December, a lot of people will travel. And part of the danger between Kaduna and Abuja, a lot of people who live in Kaduna and work in Abuja require this service more on weekends. And I thought by now, if I have access to the minister, I'll tell him, right now we should be doing nothing less than 10 shifts to and from Kaduna every day, and same thing with Ibadan. 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, both ways. That will, of course, not take away the corruption, but it will minimize it to the benefit, because there's no desperation anymore. If you miss the 8 o'clock train, you get to the 9 o'clock train. And by the time it's 11, the figure will have petered out to those who are conventional train users. So that's the only way to solve the problem in short run.
Absolutely. Final thoughts on this, Babajide?
No, I think that since we have seen that people want to use the train, we should invest more. We should invest more on coaches, get more coaches, create more routes, even along the way, along that same corridor, create more routes, and generally encourage more people to use the trains. It is possible for this, even this corruption, to be addressed. Look, the other day, I think it was Harik that arrested one of his staff for extortion. It can be done. Even the people behind this corruption can be unmasked. Unmask them and let people learn an exemplary lesson from what you do to those who have been unmasked.
And that's
that way, they will behave themselves.
Place to leave it. Thank you.